My name is Christine Marquette, and I'm a registered dietitian with the Austin Regional Clinic, and I'm going to talk to you about how to follow the Atkins diet. The traditional Atkins diet is a 4-phase program. In the first phase, you are severely restricting carbohydrate to 20 grams or less per day. In the second phase, you start to add back in a little bit of carbohydrate, primarily from different vegetables. The third phase is adding in slightly more. Here you're starting to include a few more fruits. And then the fourth phase is going to be the highest carbohydrate level. It's still considered a low-carb diet, but this is where you start to transition into more normal eating. There are a lot of cautions to this particular diet. The first phase is very low carbohydrate. 20 grams is extremely low. The general recommendations for adequate carbohydrate intake actually suggest that the majority of people need at least 130 grams of carbohydrate. What happens when you get below that, your body actually goes into a state of ketosis. And Dr. Atkins talks about this. This is the main premise behind his theory for weight loss. When you go into ketosis, that means that you don't have enough carbohydrate in your body to use for fuel. So your body starts breaking down fat to try and use that for energy. And ketones are formed, or ketone bodies. And if that level of ketones actually gets too high, it can actually lead to severe consequences, things like even going into a coma or having problems with your kidneys. So you don't want to be in that first phase for very long. And again, it really is recommended that you don't do that phase at all because it is so severely restrictive in carbohydrate. Some of the additional unpleasant side effects include bad breath and possibly some hair loss. So the first phase is really not recommended. Getting into phase 3 or 4, that actually can be a slightly healthier diet because you are including some more carbohydrates. You are choosing high fiber types of carbohydrates, trying to avoid refined sources of carbohydrate. So at that point, you are getting into more of a basic, healthy, balanced diet. But again, the first couple of phases are generally not recommended for the majority of people. So those are just a few tips for how to follow Dr. Atkins' diet.